Spokane, and today it is a beautiful fall day. Finally, fall has gotten here after that weird September snow thing. So I pretty much never turn my oven on when it's hot, and now it's just the perfect weather. So today we are going to do a pumpkin chocolate chip bread. Okay, so first we're going to start out with our flour. We mix all our dry ingredients in its own bowl. A cup and 2/3 all-purpose flour in here. So we're going to use about a teaspoon and a half of the baking powder. The next thing you're going to want is to have a really good pumpkin pie spice. But I really like this flavor. And only my half teaspoon fits in here. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. And I am pretty generous because, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, so we got that done. I always whisk the dry ingredients because you do not want to over mix your quick bread. It will activate that gluten and you're going to have a tough, holy quick bread, and that ain't right. So next thing you're going to want to do is add in your salt. This is about a 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Give that a little stir. And then we're done. We're done with our dry ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and set these aside. Okay, so now we're going to mix our wet ingredients. So we got everything set up right here. Going to go ahead and start incorporating the sugar and the eggs, and then I'm going to just slowly add my oil in. So we got this ready to go. Next up, we are going to add our 1 cup of pumpkin puree. So good. There is not much flavor to pumpkin on its own. It all comes from the spices we're going to add. You're going to want to already have your bread pans prepped and ready to go. I like to use the smaller loaf pan. You can use the larger loaf pan, but you are going to need to adjust the temperature of your oven and how long you're going to cook these. So in the smaller loaf pan, you do half and half. This is at 375 degrees, and in my oven, I bake it for about 42 minutes. We're going to dump that in. And we're going to start to gently fold. All right, that's good enough for now. Now, I am using a mixture, 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and 1/2 cup of white chocolate chips. You can use whatever kind you want. There is absolutely no right or wrong way, just whatever you prefer. You want to throw butterscotch in there, you can throw your butterscotch in there. I'm also, because if you couldn't tell, I'm from the South. I love pecans, and so these are going to live in here now. So I've just rough chopped raw pecans. It's just a personal preference. You don't have to add a nut in here if you don't want to. Again, it's what you like. So we're just going to gently fold. Okay, so I've got my grease pans here. I've got a little bit of a parchment. I love parchment paper because I hate it when stuff sticks to the bottom of my pans. So I'm going to do half. Yes, I probably did a little bit more than half. It's okay. Just scrape this bowl, the rest of it in. So we're going to pop this in our oven. And now we're going to set our timer for 42 minutes. At least in my oven it's 42 minutes. It can be between 35, it's not 3 hours, don't set it for 3 hours. I can't talk and do the timer at the same time, just a second. I will check it at 35 minutes and see how it's doing. If it's really wet, if it's sticking to a skewer or a knife or a toothpick or whatever you stuck in it, stick it back in and let it go. And I would check it again probably in 7 minutes, depending on how wet it is. And then just make a note in your recipe that, or on your phone, like how long it actually took you total to bake your quick breads. And then you'll know from now on. All right, our bread timer has gone off. I have the wire racks out for cooling. Let's take a look. That that smells amazing and not at all like squash. And I just like to take the back of a kitchen knife and just slide it around the edges. Loosen it up. The parchment that I put in is going to help. We're going to take our parchment off. I know y'all are in suspense. You can't even see it, but ooh, that's going to be good. Ooh, I lost a chunk. A chunk of it came off. Look at that. Another treat for the baker, y'all. Here are our yummy, yummy loaves. The Huckleberry Press has been very generous to also run my recipes in their publication, so you can pick up a hard copy of the Huckleberry Press. Right now I have got some spaghetti that is requiring my attention, but as the holiday seasons pick up, we're going to have holiday recipes. We're going to do an autumn spice cake. We're going to do some turkey. We're going to do prime rib. I'm also going to show you how you can cook breakfast for all your guests and have it all done the night before and have yourself a nice relaxing morning. So there is a lot more to come. I really appreciate you joining me on my first ever video, and let me know how your pumpkin chocolate chip bread turns out. There's really no right or wrong way to do this except for in the chemistry. That way your bread turns out as a bread and not as a pizza crust. So anyway, enjoy your evening, ladies and gentlemen. It was great to meet you. Thank you.